Good morning, Heidi Foy here with Bullfrog Creatives. You guys, welcome. We finally kicked off the NFR last night. We got lots of good stuff. We're going to try to have a guest this morning. I think the Wi-Fi at the internet is kind of wreaking havoc on his technology, so hopefully he'll be able to get back in here with us. Unfortunately, it's just going to be Tony and I today. I'm not sure it's going to be near as exciting. But we'll do the best that we can. Before we get too far into it, of course, I want to give a shout out to Cinch Jeans and Shirts. Obviously, doing the best they can to make us look good. Some days it's easier than others. And of course, I want to give a shout out to our new partnership, Branded Buzzworm. We're going to talk about this one once Tony gets in here. So you guys stay tuned. You are not going to want to miss today. We are so excited to be kicking off. All right, here we go. Man, I did have my Coldwell Banker Christmas party last night, and I legit had my phone like sitting sneakily watching the rodeo, and then my phone died.
So
I thought I was so prepared, and then I wasn't.
Well,
So I did get to watch it this morning. I did get to rewatch it, but I heard, and like, I don't think we even need to talk about pro fantasy today.
Oh, I think we need to jump headlong into it because I am excited. Our pro fantasy league, Heidi, we have 41 teams in NFR Hangover League. We had 17 last year. Now, mind you, we started 2 weeks earlier this year than like the day before last year when we tried to build the league. But we have 41 teams. I am just happy I'm in the top 22. I'm 21st. I mean, I was looking down the list, and there was one team I saw at the bottom of the list. I think it might have been Bullfrog Creatives.
I know. I looked like right before I went to bed, and I look at it, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh,
I told Josh, I'm not last. And he goes,
my only saving grace that I think my team has 41,001 is because Kai Hamilton won 30 last night. But yeah, you've got $8,585 won just in case.
Brody Crest. Brody Crest. You know what?
Yeah, but you and Jim Boy, we are not doing great in our league. But hey, I'd like to say I am only about $160 behind last year's champion, so there's still hope.
All right, with that,
all my guys are in the average.
With that, I'm going to throw up, and then we'll add our guest this morning. With that, I'm going to throw up. So round one winner of the NFR Hangover is Haggard Cowboy. And for some reason, they're showing it looks a little bit different this year, so I can't see whose team it is. I just see the team name. So
I can figure that out. I'm technologically savvy-ish. I can tell you right now. All right. So Haggard Cowboys. Let's see here. Going down here.
Yeah, so he had this team has got Rocker Steiner. So there you go.
I called that Terry Lefty, Haggard Cowboys.
All right, there you go. So if you would, you are going to win, I don't know what yet, because we have so much swag to give away. We know for sure, y'all, all the round winners are going to get NFR Hangover baseball caps. And then we'll try to either do a T-shirt from Branded Buzzworm, or we also have some coffee cups. Or, I mean, if we have enough of everything, y'all might get one of everything, which would be awesome. So reach out to us on NFR Hangover platform or Bullfrog Creatives platform, and the talk is already.
Yeah, Kelsey and Jim Boy, they're having a great conversation. I love it.
Anyway, let us know. Give me an address, and we'll get this stuff sent out to you. I'm gonna try to get it out before March. So you're welcome.
There you go. Well,
I feel like I'm really Johnny on it now. All right, let's check into the chats here. Kelsey wants to know where Jim Boy is. He's not in Vegas. He's not hungover. He actually is driving to see his dad today. There you go. He's in Texas.
Yep.
Yeah, travel safe, buddy. Give your dad a hug for us.
Hey.
And yep, the elephant in the room. Well, first of all, let's let someone in the room. Sorry about that. So our guest today is Marcus Terrio, who is a first-time qualifier of the NFR. I will say not the first time he's been to the NFR. I feel like you probably know where all the secret tunnels are in the Thomas and Mack.
Yeah, well, maybe the daycares, but there was a little bit of it I did remember. I mainly remember the convention center, I think, because me and my mama never left there. But I did remember a little bit of it. Yeah, for sure.
It's not a bad thing.
Well, Marcus, thank you for joining us this morning. We know you're busy out there, especially, first trip to the finals. We appreciate you taking some time to be on the show this morning. I've watched Marcus grow up. I mean, the first time I met Marcus, he was riding the pony at Lazy E at Guthrie, running stock out where the timed events, and his dad was competing when I was helping my brothers back there. So to watch him progress through the ranks, junior high rodeo, high school rodeo, win the all around at Casper. I was there coaching Fresno State when he won the all around for college rodeo, and then just to watch your career, Marcus. I guess it's been from the sidelines. It's just been impressive, man. And people, you're there in the team roping, but we talked about this the other day on the show. You are one heck of an all-around hand. I mean, when it comes to tie down rope and steer wrestling, and like I say, we just appreciate you being on and giving us kind of a little insight on what it's like being a first-time qualifier there in Vegas, and not just in the Thompson Mack, but just the whole experience of the logistics of honoring your commitments to your autograph sessions and fans and everything. So how's it been out there? Because I know it started out a little different. It didn't start out as a normal NFR for you guys.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me for one. But, man, it's been a great ride, really. I just leading up to it, just so excited to make the finals finally. And just been anticipating it a month away, a week away, 3 days away, 2 days away. Whenever I woke up Wednesday morning, I thought, well, tomorrow when I wake up, I'm running one. And, then that whole tragedy, and that night, they finally made the decision or evening to postpone it. And it was like, I was so ready for tomorrow. And then, of course, postponed it. And it was a little different feeling. It definitely didn't mess me up. But last night didn't go as planned. But super excited that we're kind of back on track now. And it's been great out here. Great experience. Just trying to soak it all in. I've signed 2 days over at Cowboy Christmas, and golly, the fans are incredible. There's, people talk about rodeo fans, and there's no way you can convince me the sport's dying.
Yeah.
No, 100%. And back to what you said about the postponement, I think the PRCA and Las Vegas events did the right thing, because the tragedy happened right there. I mean, right across the street, essentially, from Thomas and Mack. You guys were locked down during the grand entry practice, and it was the right thing to do, because there were some major tragedies, lives lost, and I think taking that day to let everything simmer was a good thing. But before we came on camera, I asked you if it felt, just from watching, even from the production side for the Cowboy Channel, everything just felt to tick off. Like they were working out the kinks that usually got worked out before they went live, I guess. And even just some of the bucking stuff, even the ground in the bareback riding. I know a couple horses went down the ground. It just didn't look like everything was flowing as smooth as it could be. And could we attribute that to just everything being pushed? Because those animals, the contestants, the personnel, everybody's geared up, and then all of a sudden you've got to throttle back a day.
Yeah. I definitely agree. And like I said, last night was my first performance competing here ever, but it just, kind of hearsay. I don't think everybody was I don't know. Like the grand entry was a lot slower paced than what I'd always watched and what everybody said last night. And I just think we never run it through. Nobody exactly knew where they were going, to hit their holes. And it just, I think everybody was a little thrown off. I think tonight will be a lot better performance all the way around. Contestants, far as staff, all that. I think they're going to have everything right tonight.
Well, I know, because I did my spoiler alert and I said, hey, over how many people hit the ground in the grand entry, first night, because something always happens.
Yeah.
They were going too slow, and then poor Matt Reeves in the steer wrestling and the hazing comes off, and the camera. I will give it this: the camera work didn't catch it. I just saw him getting on, but my brother made sure to mention, hey, I think that's Matt Reeves that fell off hazing for the run, so that's why I put that.
Leave it to him to drive the bus.
Well, I think Reeves give him 100 to edit it.
He might have just been like, hey, just get that out. I went back and looked for it because I was going to put it on a clip today. So
somebody's got to have it.
Tell me what it was like backing in that box for the first time. You ran the steers through a couple days before, but it's got to be just amazing to back in there with that crowd just right there, 19,000 people. Yeah,
it just that building, you can't describe it. It's loud. It's so loud. But it's almost like the sound's coming from so high up. It's kind of an echo. And it just, you dream of that moment just whenever you turn around in there and it's the national finals and, you're running one for 30,000. And I really wasn't nervous. I feel like I don't get very nervous, but my horse was pretty jacked up. And then right before we went in there, he kind of chilled out. And I was like, well, this is definitely for the better. And it's a feeling you can't describe. When that many people is on top of you, like it feels like they're standing above you. And it was very exciting. I'm really excited to run 9 more. I know that.
Well, I know you guys didn't have the run you were looking for last night, any luck last night, but it's like Joe always says, and all those guys say, if bad luck's going to strike, it's better to happen in round 1 than round 9 or 10. So, and like we know from the team roping, you can place well in the average on 9 head, but when there's 30,000 up or go round, and knowing you, I know you're not backing off. You're coming hunting every night. It's pretty fun to watch. So,
yes, sir. And truthfully, I'm not saying it will happen, but I know the average has been 1 on 9 here a few times. And like I said, if something crazy happens and we have a good shot at the average in the end, awesome. If not, we're going to try to win much as we can every night. And I feel like almost last night, of course, if they called today and said, we'll give you a 5 flat or 10 flat, I would take it. But it almost feels like it just kind of took the monkey off our back, and we can just, do us now.
Go do what you guys do.
Yeah,
100%. Well,
Marcus,
I say the last time in 2019, Cody Snow and Wesley Thorpe won the average on 9 head. So it's been done before for sure.
Yes, sir.
Marcus, I'm interested. We have a lot of people on the Bullfrog Creatives platform. More than likely have watched you in Casper at the college finals. Can you give me a comparison about like the facility, the crowd, just kind of compare the two arenas and events, if you would?
Both of the buildings are a little bit alike. They're smaller, but as far as the crowd, and they're tight, like the left wall does come fast.
Yeah.
Casper, I feel like the steers just aren't. It's day and night on the steers. The steers out here, they're the strongest, best steers in the world. They're the best money buys, and they're just getting away so much faster out here, and the start's way faster, and it's crazy because we take way less start here than we do at Casper. But I guess the only comparable I could give it is the left wall comes fast at both, and left, you do not want left at either rodeo. And that's about all the comparing I can do, because this is just it's on a whole nother level out here.
Well, I know those steers. Those are the ones that when I saw you over here in Stephenville a couple of weeks ago, you guys are breaking it at Caleb's, and then they ran them at that Jingle Bell Classic there at 377, the Extreme Team Open rope, and those steers were strong. And I knew it was going to be fun in that building.
Yeah, I had never been any part of the break-in, of course, and I had never been to that roping when they roped the NFR steers, so. This year was the first year I'd ever seen them, and I mean, they look like show calves. They've been on full feed. They were stout, and over there at the roping, the barrier was long, and you had to score pretty good because they hadn't had but a handful of runs on them, and they would kind of hesitate and trick you into they wasn't going to go when the gates open, and I mean, they run hard. And here, at least, we're not giving them much start, but that they're really strong.
Well, like you say, but now they know to be going when the gates bang. There's not that hesitation, so they're full tilt when the gates bang. But I tell you what, it's going to make. We saw it last night on a couple runs. That they're not just giving their head. Header's going to have to use his horse quite a bit. You can't just let your horse drop because those steers are not going to. They're going to take it, but they're going to pull down the arena. They're going to make it hard for your heelers to get around there and heel. So. It's going to be fun watching the next 9 nights, like I say, and I mean, I'm going to just jump ahead to predictions. I'm picking Marcus and Cole tonight. I mean, he comes on the show. It worked with Coleman last year, I think. He won the round.
It worked with Coleman. It worked with Emily.
So hey, let it get out there, or just come back every day. If it works tonight, let's just keep on. But man, you're my pick tonight on the NFR Hangover prediction in the team open for sure.
I appreciate it. If it works tonight, I'll be logging in when I ain't wanted.
That's fine. There's no such thing. We welcome new acts to the circus all the time.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, love it. I love it.
So I don't know if you got to watch much of the rest of the rodeo, but we're going to kind of run through the events and talk a little bit about each one and throw your 2 cents in where it's wanted or not. Like, we're so free game around here. I just try to keep us on a time schedule.
Yeah, I got to watch the bulldog and the calf roping. Yeah, I did see, which I don't want to jump too far ahead of y'all's show. I did see Stetson get bucked off. That was wild.
Well,
yeah, I think there's a lot of nervous people that have him on their pro fantasy team today.
Yeah, like our co-host Jim Boy has him, I think, in both events, and he's like, I bought the insurance. If he's hurt, who do I get? Because there's nobody above number 1. And he goes, I paid for the platinum. I'm like, well, you get the 15th guy, you just roll right back around.
Right. Yeah, when he got bucked off.
Man, in the bareback riding, I think I called it yesterday. I said Rocker Steiner was going to show up and show out. He did 87 last night on Risky Business of State Smith Pro Rodeo, and I think just the name of the horse, Risky Business, and Rocker Steiner. I mean, the movie from the 80s, Risky Business, and Rocker Steiner, they're a match made in heaven. But Clayton Bigelow, he goes out 85.5 and wins second. Jess Pope, my pro fantasy team member, he wins third. Richie Champion, fourth with 83.5. Dico Roper, Leightonberry, Keenan Hayes split. Actually, Richie Champion and Jaco Roper, Keenan Hayes, and Leightonberry split 4th, 5th, and 6th. And 7th with 83.5 points. So you've got Keenan Hayes, your world leader, coming in. He cashes a check, but Clayton Bigelow, closes a little bit of that gap by winning second last night.
In my defense, I'm still in the average.
In everything?
Yes.
Well, there you go.
I think. I'm pretty sure. Because I got Phil Reiner, bareback rider. So, I mean, he had a good score.
Yeah, no, I mean, and like I say, even the stock just looked a tick off to me last night a little bit. Nothing just looked like they were in a groove. Now, steer wrestling, and my knowledge is not as extensive as my brother's, but I am the better looking Branquinho. I will just say that.
Don't ever admit that.
Oh, well, in his mind, he thinks.
Admit that.
Well, I mean, I'm smart enough to know not to jump off a good horse onto a good animal. I use the rope to catch him instead of my body, but that's just me. But Dalton Massey comes out.
Man, he laid it out.
I mean, world standings leader, first NFR, and just smokes 1 3-5. And that was after Wags came back. He's going for his 5th gold buckle. He's trying to, get up there with, he's got 4 just like Oatberry. He's got, trying to tie Luke after Homer Pettigrew's, who's got the title at 6. And Wags is 3-8. Okay. And Dalton Massey says, okay, I'm going to go be 3-5. Made a stud run. Ty Erickson and Don Payne are both 4-3. Dakota Eldridge 4-5. Nick Guy and JD Struckness 4-6 each. We had 2 no times last night. It was Bridger Anderson and Cody Devers. And like Luke said, what I noticed watching those steers look fresh. They look strong. You can't cheat them. You can't reach in. You can't reach in early. You got to set them up. Marcus, like you said, you got to watch the steer wrestling. What it looked like from a gentleman that enters. Those steers look like they want to throw fast, but you better do it right. If you try to cheat them, they're going to get away from you.
Man, it just looked like to me like Luke pointed out, them steers are way fresher than what they always run here. Like I don't remember a steer letting off last night. They was all the way through the catch and pushing. And if you wasn't over them and done it right, they did not take it at all. I mean, there was a few steers look like your best practice steers, where if you didn't do it absolutely perfect, they did not take it. And I thought they were a really good set of steers. I think that set of steers will stay good all the way through. Dalton Massey told me before they went last night, I seen him in the media room, and he said he had the one he wanted. And that guy was fired up. And I mean, he
maxed him out. Oh, he brought the heat. He maxed him out. I tell you, the steer that I noticed that I mean, and I know Nick Guy makes him hit like that anyways, but that steer he rode last night, the tick late, but that steer, I mean, he just boom. Yeah. And that steer, they hit the barrier on that steer. They're going to be real fast on him come back here, in the 4th round.
Yeah, for sure. That Nick Guy, he finishes a lot of them like that, but I think he gives them a new sighting after he cracks a bunch of them.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, that steer just looked electric, when he went him right there. So, all right, man. Team roping. Clint Summers, Jake Long, and Jake said he didn't make a good heel shot, and it went up over the hips and then come back down. They were 4-2. Jake Clay, Tyler Worley, 4-3. Nelson Wyatt, John Torres, 4-6, along with Driggers and Nagara. Then Clay Smith, Peyton Barrier, 4-8, and Tanner and Patrick, 5-2. Mm-hmm. And man, like I said, those steers look strong, and it's team roping at the NFR. You just never know what's going to happen. Things happen. It seemed like it was unfortunately there was a few no times. We had 4, but Joe Beaver last night, it was funny. Oh, Trevor and I were talking. It was Eric Rogers, Paul. He's back in the box, both world titles. These are both Trevor and I said, this is our pick. Eric doesn't miss a whack. I'm like, that's like, and this field goal kicker hasn't missed one in 754 games. Or when they announced that Jordan Briggs hasn't hit a barrel last year, I just thinking, boy, Joe, you jinxed that. But that,
I did not see Eric missing. That just, he ropes great all year. He ropes great anywhere he goes. But when he gets to Vegas, I mean, his turn percentage is so high. And he's one of the guys that, just like this last couple months, I've watched the last 3 or 4 years worth of finals tapes. And he's so patterned just every time. He's never late. He never throws in the box. And he turns them to be from 3-8 to 4-5 almost every steer. And it's tight. It's very controlled heading. And I really thought him and Paul would possibly, have a chance at the average record this year. And last night, steer was I mean, dead down the middle, head normal. It was
I think that's
when he
tough
missed, I
everybody
was
because
like in disbelief.
yeah,
I could not believe he missed.
the
And
steer didn't step right, didn't step left. It was dead straight,
no,
head up. When he come across there and he was down like typical Eric
yeah,
Rogers. I'm thinking he's just getting ready to just wear it out, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, so he is human, but that's part of the game. I mean, but yeah,
for
did not
sure.
see that coming.
Marcus, do you get an opportunity to watch every run, or are you kind of back in the tunnel a little bit?
I did not see. I think Clay Smith. They followed me, or maybe was two
Yeah.
after me. But then
Yeah.
I made it out there to the tent, and we got to finish watching the team repping. But yeah, just on TV. I got to watch two teams go before me, and then we watched the rest of them from the TV, and then I did watch it back last night when we got in the room.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, even I was like I said, I was impressed with the one, a lot of headers, but Tanner Thompson last night, I think, did an outstanding job. And my wife and daughter we almost put him on our team because Charlotte teaches Patrick's boy Eli.
Yeah.
And they were on our team last year, and I'm just like, and it was me. I had trepidation. I think Tanner had such an outstanding finals last year. Is he going to push to try to repeat? So I didn't take him. And then I watched the videos of them breaking in steers. I'm like, boy, I might have messed that up. And last night, he's on that same horse. Is it Coy Rahman's horse?
Yeah, blue. Yeah, that's Coy Rahman's horse.
And just he made that was the 11th run he's made in that building, and it looked just like it doesn't look like 366 days had passed. I mean, it just looked like the same run, and he really picked that steer up. Patrick, let him get right, and they made a great run. So. But Caleb and Junior, Junior had to take one, kick around there a little bit, steer wash pretty bad.
Yeah.
And, they do that. It's going to be between T. Wade and Wesley. It's anybody's ballgame with that much money out there. But Team Ropa started off strong last night. It was fun watching for sure. But you're my pick tonight. I think you guys are going to come back. And I think you're going to be between 3-9 and 4-2, and you're gonna win your $30,000 and get rolling there in Vegas.
Yeah, that was exactly the way I seen it too.
See, I love it.
So before we move on, I have just a couple of questions. My dad is filling me in on like all the details of Cowboys that we have on the show because I apparently don't pay attention enough. Maybe. So he was telling me that. Is it true? Well, you are the reigning timed event champ.
No, ma'am. I won it in 21.
21. Okay.
Yeah.
And is there a junior? There's like a junior timed event championship, and then like a full-on timed event. Did you skip the junior and go right into the big leagues?
I did. Whenever the I'm just, this is how it was. I'm not trying to convince any kids that they need to do the junior deal because I do think they do, but I'm just saying I'm not trying to crush anybody. But the only way to get into that thing now is pretty much if you're a young kid, you're going to have to go to that deal and do good, and still no guarantee. But whenever they called me about doing the junior deal, I think it maybe was the first year they had done it. Mm-hmm. And there was a hope that I was going to get in that year. I thought I was an alternate, and I was. And so I didn't do the junior deal. I did pass on that deal. And then they called me 2 weeks before my first one. And I was fortunate enough to get to go, and I've been back ever since. But yeah, I did skip the junior deal, but they've made that junior deal way better every year, and it's a pretty good deal now.
Yeah, I think we talked about it yesterday or the last show about Cowboys that on the surface, from like kind of a layman's rodeo fan, we know you as a team roper now. And because you've made it, you've qualified for the NFR in the team roping. And oftentimes there are, like, y'all are doing multiple events. This is just your main one. So I just think that it's always super interesting to have those conversations here, especially because we like to talk about things that nobody else is talking about or shouldn't be talking about, either way. But I think it's super interesting. I mean, how do you pick from going from an all-around standpoint, like how did you pick, I'm going to really hit it hard for team roping and not these other events? Because you were successful in all of them. Oh,
we lost him.
We were about to get the good stuff.
And
Jim Boy is in here.
Yep. The
TNC.
The Tiny Event Championship is a mind-grueling event, and he's 100% right. I got to go back there and help both my brothers. Casey and Luke both competed at the Tiny Events, and I helped them 3 years back there as I headed for them. But I tell you what, it's not only physical because you're running one in each event. I mean, within a 2.5 hour deal, but it is mind numbing because you've got to switch. Okay. And you've got to go right from, I just healed the steer. Now I just roped the calf, and Marcus is back, so he can explain a little more, but that time event deal is as much mental as it is physical when you're there at the time events, competing in 5 events.
Yeah, I think I got most of your question before we cut out, but like Tony said, you do so many events. Like it's nothing for me to go jackpot team rope all day. I mean, start at 8 o'clock. We get done at 8 o'clock that night. You know, never quit. But the timed event, that's what, you know, I think a lot of people's like, well, I can do 4 events. I can get by in that one. And it's not like that, because in your best event, you're probably going to have trouble. I mean, your very best event. And if you're not, to me, if you don't have all 5 events where you're pretty dang good at them, you know, I think there can definitely be, clearly there can be one exception, because I don't trip steers very good. But, you know, at home, I do. At home, I look like a steer roper. You know, when we get up there, them steers are fresh, and it's hard. But like Tony was saying, the days up there mentally and physically, it is so draining. Because that's just like whenever I say I go number 1 that day, I'm first out. When I rope, I want to watch all 19 other guys head. Yeah. You don't go back there and sit in the lawn chair and, they're getting close to you roping a calf. You want to mount up, and like, you want to watch all that because you're going to come back on that stock. And then, you know, same deal. When it goes, you're switching horses, trying to get everything ready quick as possible. I've been very fortunate to have my dad and Ryan Kreider, Zeke Shorter help me there. And my little brother, I don't have to do much as far as horses wise, but it is so that year that I won it, and, you know, being fortunate enough for me, it's always started pretty good for me. And, you know, of course I've not done well every year I've went, but it's always started well. So we've always been in the race, and, you know, and that year that I won it was the year they had the BFI the next day. So I competed all through the time event. I was so burnt out. And then the next day was the BFI that went all day long. And when we got home, it was like I was tired for a week.
You just smoked you.
Oh, man, it was so mentally tiring. But it's an event that I do not think the competitors get enough respect. And, you know, every year there's a couple of new guys that think they belong there, and they quickly learn they ain't almost ready.
The mental side of it, the first year I helped back there, I helped Luke, and he came back. He was sitting second going into the last round, and he healed. He was doing good. He roped his calf. Or no, he had to head first. That's what it was. First thing out of Vince is heading. He is maybe, I don't know if he's even 10 seconds behind Trevor. He takes a 60 in the heading.
Yeah.
He rides up and goes, women and children could put it around a steer's head some way. There's 3 legal head catches. I couldn't get one, but he was, and he at the time did, but it was just the mental. I mean, you're so there's so much adrenaline going on, and I think at the time of it, I think like you said, you better have a good support crew because otherwise, if you're trying to do it on your own, there's just no way.
Yeah, in a few years, now I've learned enough that I try to practice every event before we go. In years past, there would be an event I was worried about, didn't really love my horse. Well, that would be the one I thought I needed to work at the most. I've been roping calves since I was 12 years old. I sometimes think roping the neck's a little easier than it is. I do not think roping calves around the neck is one of the hardest challenges there. So just like one year, I thought I can rope the calf around the neck. I'm gonna get the calf flanked because I'm big. So let's just work on these other 4 events. I think the first one roped her right around the eyes, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" The event I knew I was going to do, and then maybe the next year, same with the heading. I thought I head steers 300 days a year. This week before the time event, I've got the heading. We're gonna work on tripping, heeling, all that. Think maybe the second heading steer popped it off of him, and I'm like, well, I've learned my lesson now. We're going to do. I ain't saying I'm going to work hard at that event as I do the other ones, but I'm definitely still going to practice it.
I'm putting the time in. I'm going to put the time in on it.
Yeah. It just, man, that event I'm telling you, anybody that's won that event, I have a lot of respect for them because, like I said, I don't know. My rookie year, I guess, finishing the first round, I had to be like 22 maybe to set a first round record and was about 52. But other than that year, I can't remember going into the third round and not being in the top 5. Like, I mean, it always starts out good. But my point with this is there's so much can happen.
Yeah.
And, just because it starts good, it's so far through. It's about like this deal out here. There's so many head that stuff can go wrong, and every day is a new day out there. And if you happen to have an off day during that deal, you're toast.
Well, your fortunes can change from the morning to the afternoon or evening perf. I mean, you could be winning it after day 1 and have an outstanding round 1 and 2, and then one little thing goes wrong day 2, third perf, and it all of a sudden, hey, this guy was winning it. Now he's 10th. I mean, that's how fast it can happen out there.
You're so right.
What Heidi was asking, I guess, Marcus, and I think our audience, and I'd like to know is, you are such a talented tie down roper, talent in the arena. What made you gravitate towards the team roping and the heading as being the event that you pursued?
I get that question so much, and I don't know. I don't know really the right words to describe it, but I think whenever I was growing up, I clearly roped calves way more, and I was pretty successful roping calves, and it was almost like the fire I had when I was 16 years old was the fire I needed when I turned 18 to go make the finals. In the Southeast, there's not a lot of calf ropers, and I was a big fish in a small pond is how I would describe it. And I think I just flattened out roping calves. I lost the fire that, hey, this guy right here beats me every weekend. I've got to get better.
Yeah.
Which with the team roping, there was a lot of headers down there better than me. And I had 2 decent head horses. My calf horse was getting old. I couldn't afford to buy a young, great horse. And I really did think my calf horse was good enough the first year, and I think he was. I don't know. And, some people say back then, clearly team roping was my worst event. And I almost feel like that people saying that drove me to team
Yeah.
roping. Because, no, I can head. Well, nobody ever said I couldn't head. They just thought it was my worst event, which it was. And looking back, that was not. I should have stuck with roping calves. It's just so much less stressful event. You worry about your horse. You're not worried, and I've got a good partner. But I've had partners that we were everywhere across the board. You're not worrying about what their grandma's doing or if they've got to go to her 95th birthday party that week. Can't go to the rodeo, and it's just looking back. I do wish I would have stuck with roping calves.
Oh, one of the greatest calf roping stories was at the timed events, and it was your dad and Steve Duhon. I mean, they were sharing strings, this and that. It's the 5th round. I think they're both long, or they're just in the round. I think Steve's riding up with the calf strings for your dad, and he throws them to the spectators in the stands just because he's like, yeah, he'll figure it out. But it was just,
oh Lord,
I had much fun at the timed events, helping my brothers, but just watching the contestant interaction. And that's what I think is cool about rodeo is the camaraderie amongst the contestants and all the events. But in team roping, like I say, it takes a special team to go all year down the road together because highs, lows, everything. So
no, it's I describe it as people getting along with their wives. So throw 2 wives in there and 2 grown men to get along all year. And or for instance, me and Cole travel together and we get along pretty good for the most part. I feel like as good as any team that's going to go together. I mean,
right.
that's you just imagine all your man stuff and all his man stuff, and it's just like it's hard to combine it in a 16-foot short wall trailer and him not do something that annoys you. But dude, by the end of the year, it's like when we finally get away from each other, we're not mad at each other, but we want a break from each other.
Man, you get to the point where you're
I've enjoyed rodeoing with you, but you go over there. I'm going to go over here. We'll practice, and then we'll.
I mean, so I heard somebody say one time, I don't remember who I was roping with, and I said, good God, I'm so ready to get away from them. And they said, man, that's going to be anybody you rope with, you rodeo with, you buddy with. He said, by the end of this deal, you won't like the way they brush their teeth. You won't like the way they put their shirt on.
Stop breathing.
Just get away from me.
Could you please not breathe for an hour? I'm tired of watching you.
Why do you have to breathe so loud?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's like a married couple.
Oh. Wow. Well, let's talk a little.
Sorry, we took a little sidetrack, but
all right. Hey, saddle bronc riding last night. Zeke the Freak Thurston, 86.5 of Vain Reflections, the Legacy Pro Rodeo. Cade Bruno on Raging Lunatic. That was Jim Boy's pick, was Cade Bruno on Raging Lunatic because of the Lunatic Fringe bloodline.
Yeah.
Right, Trump Card. I think I might have called that one because of the name Trump Card, but Brody Kress, Chase Brooks, and Tanner Butner round out your top 6. They were all 385. My guy, my team, my pro fantasy team, Lefty Holman, 84.5. I think he could have been scored a little more. That's because I was scoring from the couch, and I think they could have loaded him a little more. He was the second guy out last night, and it just felt like they were a little tight at the beginning of the rust off with their scores. But like I say, the big story was Stetson Wright last night, and man, he looked like he was going to win the round in that saddle bronc ride. And he started out, and he was, and that horse went to the right, went to that fence, and never really swooped off the fence, but just kind of faded away. And all of a sudden, he was off. He gets up. He doesn't look like he's limping. You can tell he's a little sore. But I tell you what, after the bull riding, he looked real sore. And the pre-show, Justin McKee, they were talking about it. He has a torn hamstring. He's going to have surgery after the NFR. He sat out the 3rd round of the circuit finals. He's, been out since October. We know he's got the all-around sewn up because I'm pretty sure there's not enough money for Nelson Wyatt to make up $280,000 at the finals. But his shot at the Triple Crown, we'll see tonight. How Stetson is. They said he did not go to the Justice Sports Medicine room last night. He packed up his stuff and left, and everybody said he's all right. So, but I don't know what
seems like he does seem like the kind of guy that would be more personal and stay to himself even when he is injured like that. So I wonder if he's just got a crew that he trusts.
I'm sure 100%. So, but like I say, Zeke Thurston, he is a multiple-time world champion that, and I got to go to the world standings here because I've got them updated. Let me look here. I just want to see the saddle bronc riding because coming in, Stetson had the lead, but he didn't have a huge lead. And Cade Bruno has jumped ahead of Stetson by $1,000 after last night's round.
Okay.
Zeke has jumped to third, and he is only 3,000 behind Cade Bruno. So we've got a battle in the saddle bronc riding. Now, that being said about Stetson, he's down a horse, he's down a bull, but people placing the average on 6 bulls very well, 7 bulls, and on 8 broncs, saddle broncs. Mm-hmm. So if he is healthy, if last night was just a fluke, which, even Superman has bad days. So if he comes back and is the Stetson right we know he can be, he can still win a lot of money and still place in both averages. So people aren't necessarily out of the Pro Fantasy Rodeo average. You win all the averages, you win $1 million type deal, because you can win the average on 9 head in the saddle bronc, and you can win the average on 7 head in the or 6 head in the bulls. So, but
Cade Bruno has it's a torn, it's straight up torn hamstring.
Yeah, he's got to have surgery, his mom told him.
How is that even possible?
Because Cowboys are tough.
Well, that's beyond tough. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because those are so painful.
Oh, it is crazy. But oh my goodness. Oh,
he'll be back.
Well, let's talk about barrel racing. And 7 barrel racers hit barrels last night. And my pick for the round on the NFR Hangover Series today, Emily, she hit 2. And I think I might have texted you or Jim Boy. Jim Boy said Chongo looked a little chunky, and I said his chunky belly might have got 2 barrels last night.
Listen, and when you I watched a couple of times when you watched him run, he was firing.
Yeah,
he's had enough time off. He was going hard.
He was making a run.
He's gonna have to ride deep. But Jesus,
hitting both barrels, she was a 23.83, so she'd have been 13.83, which would have been good enough for third.
Yeah.
But Sissy wins the round, 13.71, and there's Brittany, 13.75, wins second. Cassie Mowry's 13.90. Actually, this might be the only rounds where 14 places. Jordan Briggs wins 6 with 14.1. Jessica Rotier is 14.05, 5th, and Paige Jones is 13.97 is 4th. But yeah, there was 7 barrels down last night, which we've seen, where you might get only 2 girls that have clean runs throughout the whole week. But one thing I did notice, and I just think it's all part of everything postponed and things having, not getting to do what they want to do inside the building. That ground didn't look great. I mean, even in the bareback riding, they had 2 horses go down. 2 rerides were given in the bareback riding because horses went down.
Well, I think Jim Boy was the one that posted, we need a little sand from 3 Crowns Golf Course and a little bit more water.
Yes,
We have an echo, and I don't know why.
I don't have anything else on. Huh. Are you echoing with me? So, but like I say, I just felt like I say, that was a heck of a first round in the barrels. There were more barrels down than I thought we'd have go down. But Brittany's making a statement. I mean, it's been a while since she's won a world title. She's been in the hunt, the last few years. But, she's got 270,000. Jordan Briggs goes in places, try to close the gap. but Brittany's just still put some money, in between them. Jordan's 110,000 behind. The way things are going, technically, Brittany could probably by the 6 or 7. If things hold pat, Brittany could have her go. They could actually engrave her name on the gold buckle before the end of the finals. Because like I said, we've seen $100,000 league get erased at the finals before, but Brittany.
Listen, I would add, I think it is mine, but I don't. Nothing changed. So, anyways, I would add Lisa Lockhart. She slammed together a really great first run.
Oh,
we talked about this yesterday. She is in has been on 5 winning pro fantasy teams.
Oh yeah, there's a reason people pick Lisa, and she was just out of placing last night. Out of placing.
But she's got a great time. That's a really great start to the week.
Oh yeah, yeah. And like I say, there's 8 clean runs. Then you've got at 9th, Wenda Johnson hit a barrel. Elise Riley hit a barrel. Stevie Hillman, Tacey Matthews, Summer Kosel, Haley Kinzel. Haley Kinzel and Emily Beisel are 2 that we did not. We know Chong was known for getting a barrel, but not in the first round.
Right. Those are 2 that you could pick and never guess that that's what's going to happen in the first round.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but.
And I will say that Haley Kinzel was a really great purchase because she came in a little bit lower in the standings. So. Well,
I think between Sage Kimsey was probably on 90% of everybody's team, and then Haley Kinzel would be the other one. And I heard rumors sister was hurt, this and that. Sister looked fine last night. Sister looked awesome. Barrel setters
better unionize. That was a rough night. They put some miles on last night setting those barrels up.
They were getting their steps in. They were getting their Fitbit steps in. Oh my goodness. Oh. All right, bull riding. Hey, my pro fantasy guy, the reason that I actually have money won in my pro fantasy team, Aussie, oi. Kai Hamilton with the win last night. I did get a text from our buddy, CJ Aragon, that 3 years in a row, a Sol Ross bull rider has won the first round. So I think last year was Tristan Hutchins. The year before was Kai Hamilton. And then this year, Kai Hamilton with 86.5. And then Josh Frost, the Litterman Award winner, 85.5. Josh has been riding outstanding. And I think Josh is on Doug Champion's workout program. I think he's one of his rodeo athletes. I know Josh ever since, I think it was 3 years ago, he got in to Doug. And we're going to have Doug on, I believe, was it on Tuesday? Yeah, it's on Tuesday, show the 12th. But 85.5. Creek Young, 84.5 for third. Cody Teal, your 2012, I believe, world champion. The last gold buckle that did not go to Stetson Wright or Sage Kimsey in the bull riding. He's 84. Trey Holston, 83.5. And then Sage and Trey Kimsey, the brothers, split 6th place with 82.5 last night. And so 7, 8, 9.
So I didn't get to watch the bull riding. So
9 rides last night, and Donnie Gay was great on the pre-show on the Cowboy Channel. I believe there'd be 7 or 11 rides. It's Vegas. We're going 7, come 11. Well, he split the difference. 9 of them rode last night. But Kai Hamilton. So here's another deal. This is back to the Stetson Wright deal. We've got to see how Stetson is feeling because he had a really big lead over Kai coming in, but last night.
That's
Kai
30
goes
grand.
around. He wins 30,000. Now he's only 80,000 behind. That's the average payout. So we've got to raise Josh Ross too. He's only 120,000 behind. There's a whole lot of money with $30,000 go rounds times 9 nights out there.
Yeah,
so it'll be interesting to see.
All right, Marcus, thank you so much for coming in and out. You very well could have just tapped out and told us peace out, and we appreciate you coming back in.
Yes, ma'am.
Listen, we have a mutual friend, Mr. Gerard, who is one of the owners of our new partner this year for Branded Buzzworm. He's the one that kept pushing me. You need to get Marcus. You need to get Marcus. I'm like, yeah, we're always looking for victims, guests. We're always looking for guests. to come on our show. And we also know that between the autograph signing and the rodeo, and listen, it's earlier there than both where Tony and I live. So we just want you to know that we really appreciate your time. And we're rooting for you.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, hey, thank you so much.
Good luck tonight. Good luck the rest of the week, Marcus. It's like I say, it's been a pleasure watching you through your whole career. You are one of the rising stars in rodeo. You represent the sport and the sport of team roping, but the sport of rodeo, and you're carrying on, the family legacy. And it's great to see, because that's what makes our sport great is the generational, passing on from generation to generation. And it's fun to watch. I can't wait to see what you do out there the rest of the week. And we're cheering for you.
Yes,
yeah, man,
sir.
have fun.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good day.
All right, you too, Marcus.
So I think that Cole is a little under the weather.
It happens in Vegas. It happens in Vegas.
Vegas crud is a real thing. I mean, we talked early about making sure you bring the
vitamins, IVs, whatever you need.
Vitamin B, vitamin D, like all the things. And I think it just hits a little bit different when you're going so dang hard.
Well, and I'm going to put this out there right now. When I get out there next Wednesday, if I look a little disheveled, it's probably my camera. I'm just going to put this out there, because I do have Wednesday night. I do have a party that's going to go really late. So when I get on Thursday morning, I might be drinking Pedialyte. I might be taking the Jim Boy Hash Pedialyte challenge.
No, you need to go to the rodeo rehab, and get yourself a Bloody Mary. Did you see that? The Bloody Mary bar? Listen.
Oh, my wife has already said we're going over there. We're there for 3 days, and between my daughter and hers plans, I'm not sure I'm going to sleep at all. So we're going to rodeo rehab. We're going to the convention center. I don't know where I'm going to be, but I will. Thank goodness for this right here. I will be on the NFR Hangover show some way, somehow. I might not be as insightful or as talkative.
Hook up to the IV, sit in the massage chair, and hold your phone like right down there, and we'll.
There we go. I mean, and I still got to get my runs in. I mean, I got my 7-mile run in this morning. Worked to shoot for my daughter to run breakaway calves. Then got showered and got on the show because I love it.
Are you gonna run when you're in Vegas?
Yeah, it's what I do.
Are you gonna run on the treadmill, or are you gonna run on the strip? Will you please?
I'm not that brave to run outside in Vegas. I will get on a treadmill. I've seen the crazies. I might run faster.
Yeah, see? Need a little motivation. All right.
Okay, hey. So I know we got our rodeo bum of the first round.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna put this out there. This is who I think. I think Matt Reeves. The poor man's not even entered. He fell off at the NFR. I think we got to get Matt. That's my vote. Jim Boy's got to vote. You got to vote, and our fans, let us know who you think should be our rodeo bum. Message the NFR Hangover page. Let us know, because we need to award it. Yeah. Matt Reeves get my vote just because he's nobody to know, but he got called out by my brother on television.
But also, like, I rewound it and watched, and he must have bounced up so fast because there was no time for him. Like, he was up very quickly. He recovered very well.
Well, yeah. I mean, there was the one year that was Trevor Knowles. We were hanging off the horse and wiped out. I think he had to sit out the next round because of concussion because of hitting in the steer wrestle. But yeah, that back end comes up fast, I think. And like I say, I didn't see it. I was watching the run, and then the only reason Luke said something, but I'm sure Matt was looking over his shoulder watching the run finish, and the horse gets to the back end and, left, right. So.
Yeah, so I typed this out because this is kind of I really like this brand. Western slang used to describe a cowboy or cowgirl who works tirelessly to perfect their athletic skills. Listen, I can't remember when we talked about this, but when, if you have been in the rodeo world, then you are are familiar with or have heard of the Cody Night Show. And oftentimes we always called those cowboys or cowgirls night show bums, because it's a really great place to get a lot of rodeo experience. Or if, like, in my case, I lived there one summer and I seasoned my horse at the night show. Like,
yeah,
that was it was really easy. It's affordable. So we call them night show bums. And so I think this is a really good throwback for kind of that old school era. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. We have got to get you this shirt.
Oh,
if you
gotta
wear
have
the
that one on there.
Bunny Pimp shirt on Fremont Street, it will trigger a turf war.
Yes.
I think that's probably accurate.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Hey.
Anyway, so you guys give us a vote and let us know who our round one rodeo bum is. Man, I also second Matt Reeves. I feel like he took one for the team.
My wife said on Facebook, she seconded that also.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. So we will get something to him. And also because I also created another gem to share with everyone.
There you go.
Bullfrog Creatives, I did launch a virtual recruitment platform. And if you know of a high school student or you're a college rodeo coach, this is something that's going to be up and coming. It is live. So go to the website, bullfrogcreatives.com/college rodeo recruitment. Get in there, check it out. Yeah, get in there and check it out. We are looking I'm getting text messages now.
Oh, yeah, and it came up too.
So, did he?
No, he just wants to know if he did.
Whew. Well, yeah, you get 10 Texas Media. Thank you so much. There is a lot going on across America and American Western sports. So Junior World Finals, there's tons going on. So
Vegas, yes.
Yeah.
Across the country.
Listen, I will tell you guys, Tony and Jimbo and I have been talking a lot over the last several years about finding a way to get to Vegas. And we're going to do it. My goal is to be at the National High School Finals for the recruitment platform, and then again in Vegas next year. So the chances of us going live in Vegas it's coming. I can feel it. We're going to make it happen. So I will also throw this out. It always feels awkward. 10 Texas Media, thank you for all you do. We appreciate the support. It always feels awkward to ask for this, but we don't get paid. We just do this for fun. So if you guys like what you see, there is an option on social media, and I believe you can do it on the NFR Hangover page and the Bullfrog Creative page, but you can send us some stars. I believe it's $1. 99 stars is 99 cents. We will take everything. I think we made $25 last year. Yes. Let's double that. Actually, if we could triple that and each of us make $25, then we could each buy a lunch and a coffee.
Are you kidding? My daughter will take that and enter her roping.
Listen, you're not going to know how to get it from Facebook to your account, so you're going to have to give your daughter a commission just to set it up.
That's the truth. 100% the truth. Oh my!
I never did. They actually had to send it to me because I couldn't figure out how to do it.
Oh, that is awesome.
I only know that from experience. There you go. All right, you guys. Who do we have tomorrow? There's a door in front of my calendar.
Oh, let's see. Tomorrow we are.
Oh, yeah. Sunday is Will Loomis. Big Will Loomis tomorrow. So yes, and he is
make sure. Hey, you guys. We appreciate everybody that watches. Like Heidi says, Jim Boy, myself, Heidi, we do this because we love rodeo. We love the Western lifestyle. But if you have some friends, let people know about the show. We want to grow our audience. We do want to be out in Vegas eventually, but we want people to want to watch the NFR Hangover show. And right now, I mean, our guests come on, they can do it from the room like Marcus did. So let people know about it. Share the page, share our show, because this is something we do. It's a passion project. Like I say, this isn't making any of us rich. It's because we love the sport of rodeo. We love the national finals. We love the Western lifestyle and Western way of life. And so the more we can get out and share, you guys share it for us and get more viewers, we'd really appreciate it. So we appreciate everybody. You guys, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and 8 o'clock on the West Coast and out there in Vegas. It'll be NFR Hangover Show, Season 4. I think it's show number 5 already.
It is. It is. We're coming in hot. So thank you guys so much for your support, and we will catch you tomorrow.
Peace out.